37 points, 9 rebounds. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel as good as I can be after taking a loss like that. I mean, I was close when we fought back in the end. We learned things throughout it, though. We learned ways to guard. We learned mental toughness. We learned a lot of things throughout the end. So I'm kind of glad we went through it. It's still early in the season. Got a lot of games coming up, so it's pretty good.
Nicholas Kwan from On Point Basketball. It felt like a tale of two halves for you tonight, Reggie, where the first half you had just 13 points, but in the second half you really took over.
Yeah.
What was the big difference for you?
Really just on attack mode the entire time. I knew that the team needed me. So I really just started – I really wanted to implement myself defensively in the second half. So that carried on offensively, and I just kind of got into a mode where just attack mode the entire time. So just continuing to try to let my defense thrive my offense.
I started to sense that the energy was picking up as the game went on. Was that the general feeling that you got as well? Where
Yeah, for sure.
Not a lot of energy, but
yeah, for sure. I mean, we realized we were down a bit, so of course we can't really just match the energy. We gotta have more energy than them. So, I mean, like I said, we fought back. I think we was down like 17 at one point. So I feel like we did a good job trying to crawl our way back into the game. Just fell short a little bit.
17 of your 37 were in the fourth alone. What freed you up in that quarter?
A lot of my buckets were in transition. Like I said, just trying to attack the rim. Really just, I mean, really just put my head down and attacking the rim. But, I mean, my teammates did a good job finding me. Daryl made a couple good passes to me in the pocket. Delano made a couple good passes. Ron made a couple good passes. They all did a really good job finding me in the fourth quarter. So, and they realized the hot hand, you know what I'm saying? That's another growth thing for us, you know what I'm saying? Just realizing the hot hand, playing together as a team, and that's big for us.
You and Khoury were really going at each other tonight. What was the biggest challenge guarding him today?
Biggest challenge, I'd probably say keeping him off the boards. He made a couple threes tonight. That was big time for him. So, I mean, it was a pretty good matchup.
Khoury from Raptors Republic. You've been shooting a lot more threes, like in the flow of the offense.
Yeah.
How important is it for you to, keep feeling comfortable with that three-point shot?
I mean, I just got to continue to have my confidence high. It's one of my lowest shooting percentages in my career, so just continue to put in the work. I mean, I feel it going in practice. Just trying to keep my confidence high and just realizing eventually that it'll fall.
You are the only returning players this year, so you kind of got that veteran presence. Is that something that you're still learning, or is that something that you've taken and you're kind of rolling with it?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm still kind of learning. It's an entire different team. It's structured entirely different. So it's not, I mean, just being here, having experience is a good thing for young guys like Gabe and young guys like Daryl and Hawk and stuff like that. So that's big. But it's an entire different team. It's an entire different, structure of how we play and just trying to figure it out.
Aggressive game from you today. What got you going out there?
I would say all the time, I play with a lot of really talented basketball players on this team. So they do a really good job of getting me involved, finding my opportunities. I only took 11 shots today, but they're all in the rhythm of the game. And, I couldn't ask for better shots for that. And those guys really set that up, no matter what they're doing, screening, cutting, hitting me on a kick out. So just when my teammates find me in them open spots, I feel real good.
Nicholas Kwan from On Point Basketball. It seemed like you really had it going in the first half, especially offensively, but your opportunities sort of went away in the second half. Was that part of the scheme? Or?
I wouldn't say that. I think just that group that we had in at the end of the third quarter to the middle of the fourth really brought us back into the game, and they asking us on the sideline what should we do? Y'all want to go back in? Nah, leave those dudes out there. So I was on the bench for about 7-8 minutes going into the fourth quarter, but those guys are out there bringing us back into the game, willing us back into the game. So I don't think my opportunities really cut down. I just think just like I said, like in the flow of the game, it's just stuff like that kind of happens. You know, those dudes that kind of had it rolling, they brought us down. They brought us back from down 14. They tied the game. They went up, and they went down, but they fought us back into the game. So I think it's just a product of that. You know, when I walk in, I don't expect to take 20 shots every day. So I'm grateful for the 11 I got.
Is that something that's a mindset that you had to kind of learn, or is that the mindset you've always had? You know, my teammates will help me out. I don't need to have the ball. I don't need to be on the floor all the time.
Yeah, I pride myself in being able to say I can play with anybody. So, you know, if you want me to be out there, be the primary ball handler. If you want me to be out there and spot up and shoot, you know, I'm real comfortable filling all those roles. You know, it just comes from me being a high IQ basketball player. Just knowing my teammates, knowing the personnel out on the floor, and knowing how I can help them out and how they can help me out. So just it's a mindset you get when you go through basketball the way I did.
Your brother seems to be a little bit of a star.
Mm-hmm.
Who's better?
I'm better. Not at his age though, but every time I go home though, he be trying to play one-on-one, I be kicking his ass.
What do you think your team could do better to protect the paint in future games?
I think in the first half we just did a real bad job of our ball pressure. I feel like we were getting blown by a lot. And like when that happens, you're just creating a really tough situation for whoever's protecting the paint, like Reg, Kenny, Kyler. When dudes just get downhill and just start going full speed, like you can't look at them to protect the rim when you're getting blown by. So I think we gotta do a better job of staying in front, sliding our feet, being in our gaps. And I think in the second half we adjusted. Looking at the point totals, you know, they had 40 in the first half, and then we kind of kept them to under 30 in the rest of the quarter. So I feel like as the game went on, we kind of locked in on what we needed to do to protect the paint. I'm not sure how many points in the paint they had in the second half, but EK said it was a good number. So I think we did a better job.
Okay. Khoury with ATV News. What is the most difficult part about a back-to-back game?
Just, you know, surprisingly today I felt real good. But the worst part about back-to-back is that, you know, if you win the game the day before, the team's going to come back, game plan for everything that helped you win the day before. And that's just the toughest part for me. And obviously the physical take it takes on your body, you know, playing. I probably played 30-something minutes yesterday. I just played 32 tonight, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a good night's sleep.
Yeah. When you have a stretch like this where you don't come back home to the 25th, does that take sort of a toll?
Don't come back home to the 25th?
Yeah, does that take sort of a toll on you?
Huh?
We don't play until the 25th.
Here?
Yeah.
What was the question again? My bag got off track.
When you have a long stretch like of being on the road like this,
Mhm.
you don't come back home till the 25th. Does that kind of take a toll on you, like with the crowd engagement and everything like that? Just comfortability of being home.
I like it, to be honest, going on the road, just being in a hotel with the guys. You know, I feel like it gives us a good chance to bond. You know, when we're on the road, all of us be hanging out, laughing. Tomorrow we're doing the team activities, so I enjoy being out on the road. You know, I'm gonna miss the fans, but you know, we'll be back on the 25th, and you know, we just gotta go out there, play real hard, get some road wins, and just lock in together. You know, when you got like a 15-day stretch like that, where you're gonna be on the road, wherever you're gonna be, it's a good chance for you and your team to come together, even through hard times, and just build that chemistry that leads onto the court.
On the days that you don't have a game or you don't have practice or practice is canceled, do you get restless legs when you're trying to sleep?
What you mean, restless legs?
Like when you're like twisting and turning all night?
Nah, definitely not. I'll be sleep like a baby. Like days, off days.
Yeah.
In this industry, as a two-way player, are hard to come by. So when I get the chance to rest, when I get the chance to sleep, I take full advantage for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Khoury ATV News, and after the second game of back-to-back, how do you rest the team and get them ready for some games on the road?
Yeah, it's a quick one because we jump on the bus tomorrow and then play the day after that. So not a lot of time to rest and recover. We'll have to be careful with the minutes and then just have a shoot around before the game in Detroit, but be smart about how we do it.
Daryl's only been here a little bit, but you seem to have a lot of confidence in him. What is it that you see from him that you're like, I want that guy on the floor as much as possible?
Yeah, he plays super hard. He executes schemes. He can guard. He can keep somebody in front of him. And he just plays the right way.
Nicholas Kwan from On Point Basketball. It felt like a tale of two halves for your team. Kind of came out the gate a little sluggish, but as the game went on, they really picked up that effort. What do you think kind of flipped that switch for them?
I think it was probably even a tale of one quarter than 3 quarters. Came out the gate, it was no surprise that we had to keep them out of the paint, and then the game just started with paint. I mean, they hit 1 3 at the end of the shot clock to start the game, and then after that, they just lived in the paint. I don't know what to tell you.
54 pain points is an improvement from last night's 83. How pleased were you with the defense overall today?
I mean, it was 36 in the first half, too. So just 18 in the second half or something like that. It might have been 38 in the first half, even at 16 in the second half. So a lot of improvement. I mean, we had to go away from our base coverages. We just started gapping guys like crazy and giving up a huge cushion. You see that, and we only forced 12 turnovers, which is pretty low for us. So a lot of that's because we were just played super soft. But that's what we had to do because nobody could keep anyone in front.